Hello, everybody. Well, why not go live? Hey, what's up, Tyler? How you doing, brother? Well, as you know, San Antonio is on freeze lockdown. Everything's going out, like power's going out, um, water's going out, everything's going out. You okay, brother? What's going on? Hey, what's up, Jax, brother? Ah, crap. I'm sorry, Tyler. Sorry to hear that, brother. But yeah, as y'all know and everything, that San Antonio, Texas, the land of heat and everything, never has any bad weather. Well, the ice storms came in, everything's freezing up, the whole entire city is going crazy. Um, the roads are iced up. Just found out that my house, the electricity and the water is frozen. The water's frozen to my house. Electricity went out. Um, it's really a survival situation now, and well, an emergency situation. It's one of those things that I've wanted to show y'all, and it's a what's up, Hensley, brother? And this is a perfect time to show y'all what to do in one of these situations instead of talking about it like a what if scenario. Now it's an actual real scenario. The city's gone down, ice on the roads, you know, everything is shutting down. Everything. People can't make it out of their driveways, people can't make it to work, people can't do anything. So, this is a perfect time to show y'all what's going on. What's up, White Wolf, brother? So, question most people ask is, do I stay home? Do I bug in? Or do I bug out in this situation? Well, for me, I'm going to have to bug out. I'm going to have to go to a hotel. Because the water is frozen at my house. I can't get water. The light is gone out. Yeah. Yeah, on 35, Jax. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, and it's going crazy out here. Hey, David, brother. What's up, OG, brother? But I just got off work and everything, and you can see me, like, I am bundled up. It is 23 degrees right now. It's supposed to be snowing here in Texas at 3 a.m. And it's not regular snow, it's sleet snow, so that's gonna be more ice on the roads. Um, yeah, I know, White Wolf, but right now, it's that question. Do you bug in? Do you bug out? Well, I'm going to have to bug out. I'm going to the house right now, going to pick up everything that I need, go to a hotel that I can try to get, because a lot of places out here in the hill country, they're homesteads. So those people are going to have to come to the city to get warm and everything for the night. I mean, I have a fireplace and stuff, but that doesn't help me with water. That doesn't help me with electricity. Um, I could bug in. I can, but not being able to take a shower, not being able to, brush my teeth, not being able to use the bathroom, because I mean, if you can't use the bathroom without running water, you know? Yeah, right. Right, Jax. And that's the thing, that's another thing I have to worry about too. People here in Texas don't know how to drive in ice or snowy weather. I mean, they barely know how to drive in rainy weather, let alone ice. So that's another problem that I have to worry about also, is getting to a destination downtown where me and the wife have to bug in for the night, and then we have to, that's almost a 45-minute drive getting into San Antonio from where I am. What's up, LJ sis? Um, but I can't do anything. I can't do anything at my house. So all I can do right now is go and get, the food and all that stuff that I need to take with me, just in case anything happens. Um, well, Tyler, there's some people that know how to drive, but not everybody. Like San Antonio, like San Antonians, if that's how you say it. But yeah, that's. I mean, it's another thing. If they're not used to it, it's not like people up north, that have to that normally drive in snow and ice. Like I'm from Tennessee, so I'm used to snow and ice, so I can drive, but my wife can't drive in it. Um, but this is a perfect thing I can show y'all, in a different climate survival situation. Some of y'all and everything, like Jax, like not LJ, but Jax, LJ probably knows how to drive in it, like a lot of y'all on here are probably thinking, oh, it's nothing, blah, 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 because I live in snowy weather. I'm used to 6 to 8 inches. How you doing, Zetsu? Um, I'm used to 8 to 10 inches of snow, all the time. Well, that's where you're at. But here in Texas, half of these people that are in the city see snow maybe once every 5 years, and that's only for a day. Um, but this is a perfect time to do an example of a survival situation, and not have it pre-planned, not have it to where everything is right at my hands, like I'm leaving work right now, heading home to get prepared. Hello, Setsu LJ son. Welcome to the family. I hope you enjoy this. But yeah, we've already had trees and everything falling over on these back roads and everything heading out to the hill country where I am. So I'm going to have to take my axe with me or my chainsaw if anything on the back roads happen, I'm I'm going to have to take, a crowbar in case there's somebody on the side of the road that got into a wreck and I have to pry open their door to try to help them. Um there's hundreds of things that I'm going to have to prepare for just to get into the town, you know? It's it's one of those it's one of those things, like this is a situation in a big city where there is people still out at jobs, still trying to get home and still working till 11 or 12 o'clock at night and having to get back home when the freeze is actually going to hit. Then there's people, working night shifts that are going to be traveling during the sleet. Um, what's up, kitten? It's it's one of those things. What do you carry? What do you bring with you? Are you one of the people that will stop in the middle of 23-degree weather or colder and stop and help somebody that's hit a patch of black ice and is off the road and not even the cops can get there because wherever they're at, they're frozen? I mean, are you one of those people? Would you prepare to for one of those situations? Would you be prepared to try to help somebody else's life, that would need you? Um those are the situations that come here in Texas, the in this day of age, a lot of people aren't going to help other people. They would be stuck on the side of the road. Do you have extra blankets packed in your car that if somebody's broken down on the side of the road, would you help them? Would you put them in your car? Or would you give them a blanket if they said they have somebody coming? Because what if their car can't work? Right. And see, I'm the exact same way, White Wolf. I would help anybody that I see broken down on the side of the road. That's why I'm going to be packing 2 or 3 extra military wool blankets in the SUV, just in case there is somebody broken down on the side of the road and, you know, they have somebody coming to get them, but they don't have they don't have a emergency bag in their car. They don't have, anything but like a jacket. Say that their car can't start and they have to sit in a pretty much an ice box all night long until somebody can come help them. Um, that's one of the things, I would, you know, literally throw them a I would literally throw them a wool blanket that I got from the military surplus store, keep them warm, because wool blankets will keep you warm no matter if it's even if it's 100% wet. It will still keep 50% of its warmth value, even when it's soaking wet. What's up, frugal mama? Yep, help the neighbor. That's what you do. Um, But yeah, the best thing you can do for anybody in this kind of situation, if you see them broken down on the side of the road or anything, always carry a wool blanket with you. I don't care if it makes you itch or whatever. You can use fabric softener to make it less itchy. Um, but wool blanket, like I said, it doesn't matter if it's completely soaking wet and covered with ice. It will still keep 50% of its warmth value on you as long as the inside of it is not to the elements. If it's wrapped around you, the outside of it can get wet and it can collect ice on it, but it will still keep you warm. Nothing else will do that. Cotton won't do it. Cotton will actually give you hypothermia. That's why people up north always wear wool underclothes and wool outer clothes, because cotton will kill you. Cotton absorbs moisture. Yeah, saddle blankets will do the will it's pretty much a bastardized wool, so it'll keep you just as warm as it will the horses. White wolf. Yes ma'am, mama. But the thing is, like I said, all you got to do is just wash it in fabric softener, like one of the like Dollar Tree versions of fabric softeners, the ones that have like the really good starch control in it. You wash it in that, hang it up to dry, and it'll soften out, and it will take away that itchiness. But yeah, in this situation and everything, it at least I can show y'all. At least I can show y'all what I do in one of these situations. It's one of those things. It's not like others. You know, not talking about you, White Wolf, or anything. I'm talking about major survival shows and everything, where everything, like, they have a pre-planned whatever. This is an actual situation that that happens every day for people. And what to carry, what to take with you, what to throw, what to even hold in your trunk. Just a basic survival bag for cold or summer or whatever. Then also what tools you take, you know, like if somebody hits, if somebody slides on black ice, and hits a signpost or something, their driver's side door is busted in. Take a crowbar, try to pry it open. At least do something until the emergency gets there. Call 911, whatever, and use that crowbar to try to pry open that door. Like, don't move the person. That's number one thing in first aid, is don't move the person unless you actually have like medical experience. But at least get that door open and see if they're okay. What is up, Nicole, sis? How you doing, Warlord? But yeah, my house, the water's frozen. Even with the pipe, the pipes covered and protected and everything, it still froze. Even with the little heat packs that I put on them, it still froze with it. Then my electricity went out. So there's no electricity in the house. There's no water running to the house. That's why I'm having to aka bug out. And that's what the term bug out means. You know, usually they say bugging out means I'm going to the woods and leaving, blah, blah, blah. But no, bugging out means you're bugging out from your homestead, your place that you're living, to somewhere safer. Now, inching out is different. That's called I'm never coming home. And that's something like, say, the wildfires out west or whatever, you know, where the smoke and the fire, you don't know if your house is going to be there when you get back or not. That's a different story. That's where you load up everything and you leave because you don't know if your house is going to be there or not. But yeah, bugging out means you're just temporarily leaving the area that you're out at because it's no longer safe. And that's what we're doing today. I'm bugging out today. Um, uh, Doing all right, I guess. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, LJ. But yeah, so I'm literally having to take it slow going home because it's bad. Even the street lights and everything are out. So, and people in San Antonio really don't know how to drive or read signs or anything if the street lights are out. What's up, Ryan, brother? Thank you, sir. Hey, Angel, what are you doing? What are you doing, my favorite little cryptid? But yeah, it's one of those situations. It's one of those you always have to ask yourself in one of these situations, is it better for me to stay home where all my stuff is, or is it better to leave my place temporarily to go somewhere safer until I can recuperate, I can collect my thoughts, know what I'm doing next, then come back. But that's what you always have to ask yourself. Do I stay or do I go? And 90% of the time, you do not want to leave. You always want to bug in. You do not ever want to bug out. You don't want to do what I do because I have animals I need to take care of. I have everything. But the thing with animals is they have fur. They can huddle together and keep warm. Humans, we have no hair. I mean, we have hair in certain spots, but that's about it. You know, we have to bundle up to stay warm. And if I could, you know, it's stupid. I mean, I could stay home. I could stay in the car, run the car's heater and be warm. But the thing is I will run out of gas doing that. It's the same thing being stuck on the side of the road. You know, the longer you run your car and run the heater, the more gas you waste. And you only have so much gas. Yep. Your tauntaun. I wish I had a tauntaun to cut open right now, Ryan. If I did, I wouldn't be this cold. But yeah, it's when I get home and everything, I'll show y'all what I carry, what I'm going to put in the SUV, and what I'm going to take with me out. Um, like I said, I thought this would be a perfect scenario, not planned, nothing, like an actual true blue scenario that has happened. What's up, Eli, brother? And my animals will be safe. My animals will be safe for the night. I be safe for a couple of nights. Yeah, their heating lamps and everything are off because no electricity. But it's not like I can load up, 200 chickens and 50 rabbits and everything and take them with me. I can't. Who the hell is going to put me up with that many animals? No hotel or anything will. Can't bring them inside the house. Like, thank you, White Wolf, brother. But yeah, I mean, this is a thing. People's gonna, there's a lot of people out there that think, oh, you're gonna let those animals suffer, blah blah blah. No, I'm not, because they are all together. They will huddle up. They have houses. They have a place where they're out of the wind, out of the wet. They can huddle together even without a heat lamp and still survive. Um, it's not like I just have them out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, even wild animals, them being out in the middle of nowhere, still can survive in this cold weather. But us humans, we can't. We can't. We need fire. We need other things to keep us warm. Even two humans together is still not enough temperature to keep warm in freezing temperatures. Yeah. But the thing about animals, though, is they have more than one person. Humans need at least three people huddled together under a blanket to stay warm during very, very cold nights, like freezing temperatures. Yeah, it is, David, especially in a place like Texas that doesn't really ever have this kind of weather. Thank you, Eli, brother. But when I come up to a red light and everything, I'll put a link out and I'll let people join, come up and join on panel. But I have my survival bag, and my survival haversack with me. I always carry that with me, but that's not enough to be able to handle what's going on right now. It's I'm gonna go and get my 2 burner propane stove. I'm gonna get other things just in case the power goes out in the hotel also. So I still have a way to cook food, boil water, stuff like that. Because even in the city, the power can still go out. And that's one of my fears also is if the power goes out in the city, that's a bad scenario. I mean, it's already, I'm out in the middle of the boondocks and my power went out. What's up, Dakota, brother? And if it knocked my power out, I know it can knock out the power in the city. But yeah, they have backup generators, stuff like that for when the power comes back. But those backup generators only last for so long. If it's too icy, the power company can't go out and fix the power. So I got to have a backup plan to the backup plan just in case of anything else that happens. So I'm gonna get a lot of my prepackaged food. I'm gonna fill a box of prepackaged food, instant coffee. I'm gonna get, my fire kit and everything. I'm gonna get my propane 2-burner stove, pack that up, bring that with me. People may be thinking I'm going too far for it, but this is what I plan for. These are the scenarios that run in my head. This is what I try to get other people to think about. I try to think of the worst case of the worst case. So if it doesn't get to that point, it's like I'm happy. I'm happy that it did not get to that point, but I'm prepared just in case it does get to that point, you know? Yeah, it does, White Wolf. It really does. That, and if you have any like plastic drop cloths or anything like that, what I do when I get home and everything, I'm going to put uh my thick blankets in the window, like in and around the window. Then I'm going to put the drop cloth around it and tape it to where it keeps that blanket inside of it, and it keeps that cold barrier out, and what heat is left in the house, it stays. And yeah, putting the blankets and everything around the doors, underneath, anywhere that wind can get through, you want to block off. um yep. You want to keep the coolness and the moisture out of your house. What's up, newbie? How you doing? It's all right. Tex Hell's finally frozen over in Texas. Everything's everything's frozen and the power's going out in places. Like, my water's frozen at my house, my power went out at my house and everything, and I'm discussing an actual real emergency situation. But yeah, it's oh, okay, I'm at a red light. Hold on, let me okay, am I back? Sorry, my phone, I hit the off button. Sorry. I'm at a red light. Hold on, let me invite, copy to clipboard, post, paste, chat. All right. If anybody wants to come up or whatever, we can talk until I get home. Then I'm gonna run y'all through everything that I would take on a situation like this. But yeah, I mean, what better to explain a situation than having it actually happen in real time? You know, it's one of those things. It clicked in my head, like when I got off and everything. I was like, they wanted me to stay, and I was like, no, I can't stay. Everything's shutting down. My water is frozen. Everything. No, I can't stay. Everything's. Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up, Dave? What's going on?
Not much, not much. How's it over on your area?
Yeah, very cold, man. I'm staying in. What's up,
Right?
DVD? I hear you, man. Those taps are, that's why we have them running. Because you never know when, you really need the water and, get stuck, you have nowhere to go. Especially when people don't have a car.
Well, the thing is I wouldn't be worried or anything until my water's frozen. Then the power went out.
Yeah.
So it's like
you can't
without I could survive with one or the other, but I can't survive with both missing. Like all I'd be doing is sitting in a cold tomb if I wanted.
You have nothing to do, just sit there and freeze to death, really.
Right. Like I wouldn't even have any power to charge my phone in case I did need help.
Exactly.
It's like
so so you don't know how long it's gonna take for them to turn on the power?
I don't know. I can't sit and wait because the wife needs to work and she has no off day, and she has no sick days or anything that she can use right now. So we're going to we're really going out because so we can be closer to her work in case, because there's a hotel like 5 minutes walking from her work. So if worst comes to worst, she could literally walk to work.
Hey, Jax.
But that's the real reason why we're leaving, is so she could make it to work.
Yeah. But imagine if there was no light anywhere. What would y'all do? I mean, in a rough scenario, let's say if an ice age hit and there was nowhere to go.
If the ice age hit, it would be doing the same thing that Newbie said in Alaska. I mean, I have a fireplace and everything. I mean, we would go back to, pioneer days. Like we'd just have to have a fireplace going and multiple candles and kerosene heaters. Like we would have to go to the gas station and load up on kerosene and fill up the old kerosene heaters and keep the house that way. That's what you really need. I've got like 6 kerosene heaters. I've got 2 fireplaces. I'm set on that, but the thing is it's jobs. Jobs don't understand that. Jobs is you have to be there no matter what, or you get written up. And that's what my wife's worried about with her job, is like if she can't make it, she gets written up. So
it is freezing. I went to go take a little walk, and it was even the ground was like kind of frozen. I didn't want to slip. And I'm like, I just took a little walk. I was like, I'm going back home. I was last thing I need is to fall.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Just
frozen.
imagine that little bit of ice, but you're going 60 miles an hour in a metal shell.
Yeah.
You know, it's and then I mean, most people like me coming home right now. There is people going into town for what fucking reason? Why are people going into town unless they're actually in a situation like I am, you know? Like you don't see anybody coming out of the city.
No.
Like I'm going out of the city to come out here to the hill country to get my stuff and to get my wife.
Yeah.
But you know, why are people going into the city unless their house, I mean, I can understand that if their house lost power, stuff like that, they need a hotel for the night, something like that. But you know, just going into the city because it's, you know, 8 o'clock, so stores are still open. Unless people are doing last minute shopping and all this stuff.
Yeah. True. It's still dangerous even doing that. Even at night, they should wait for like daylight to go out. I mean, they're not
Yes,
missing
sir,
anything.
White Wolf, that is true. As long as you got a hot enough fire for it, you can literally see the water bubbling and boiling out of the wood. And
Yeah,
you know, in a survival situation, you can drink that boiling water.
but how long does that take though to drive the firewood?
Depends on how thick the piece of wood is.
Wow.
Like if you have a quarter size stick of fire, it takes about 5 minutes in a good fire to boil the water out and dry it.
Wow.
But if you have something like a forearm size piece of wood, that's going to take, you know, if you split it,
No, I
it
know.
will, yeah, you got to split it, then dry it out that way. And it's better to put it up against the fire to let it dry out a little bit first for about 15-20 minutes, then put it on the fire. So it has actually something that the flames will lick.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, Beth. It is Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Can't wait.
Plus, all that good candy's going to go on sale.
Hell yeah. I got some candy already.
Yeah.
But I would not be out in this cold weather. I mean, if I needed to, just like your situation, yeah, to find a place.
Yeah.
But if I'm warm and cozy and I could wait till tomorrow to, you know, like have all my stuff that I need, then yeah, I could wait. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no need to go out
there. Yeah. Sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Well, there's no need to go out there and cause yourself a wreck or something just to go get a loaf of bread or something. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If you got plenty of food, eat it without bread. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of crazy people out there speeding. You might be doing your thing by not speeding, but you'll still get hit.
Oh, all the HEBs and everything on the south side are already out of milk, bread, eggs.
Wow.
Why do people go for milk and eggs in frozen situations? Like, if the power goes out, the refrigerator, you know, if your power goes out, it's useless.
But
it's useless to have it unless you actually have snow or ice that you can put it out safely without animals getting into it.
But a lot of, you know, that's the cheapest food you can eat is eggs and have milk for the kids. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody has a lot of kids and they feed their kids like that with a lot. You know, they drink a lot of milk. I mean, I know because my nephew, drinks a lot of milk, and I'm just like, God, they go through gallons and gallons Next, we're gonna have to have a cow because the stores are without even milk in the shelves.
Right. That's great, Val. That's great. Well, Val, you and Jax can just snuggle up on the couch and have some hot cocoa and enjoy Valentine's Day that way.
That's what we're doing. We're not gonna be
Yeah.
out in this weather. Well, yeah, if I go to her
But
place.
I just never understood the thing people grabbing milk and eggs. I've never understood it.
I don't like eggs. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't like.
I mean, I've had to grow used to it because chickens. I have chickens, But the thing is you can buy if you have a fireplace, you can buy canned food and cook it over the fireplace.
Yeah.
Without a stove or anything. But people don't think like that. It surprises me. Like all this food that you can get, you go for the things that rely on the cold. And if your power does go out for some reason, you have to put that stuff outside. Because every time you open that refrigerator, you release the cold out of that refrigerator, which is keeping it in to keep your stuff cold. So it's like you have to fight nature to protect your food. Don't get milk and eggs. Don't.
Well, okay.
You can make bread with water.
Ask me a question. You see, you got chickens, right? What are you gonna do with them? You think they can survive out there for a couple of days by themselves, or what do you do with them? What do you do with your?
Yeah. My hen house and everything. It's got hay. It has cedar chips. Where they make their nest and everything.
Mm.
I have cedar and hay and everything on the bottom of it. Then they have roosting sticks that they flock up on, and they all like huddle together and stay warm. But yeah, I mean they have houses, they have hen houses and everything that protect them from the wind and the rain and everything. So they're fine. They'll just huddle together and share body heat. The only thing that you really worry about in cold weather is baby chicks. Baby chicks are the ones that, like, their mother will try to keep them warm, but it's better for you to have a heat lamp in there to protect the chicks.
Yeah. Don't we all protect chicks?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Like, see, but you know what? In our nature, I know that you lived out there in the cold and everything. I'm not lived out there, but like you've been out there. But how long do you think you can actually live out there in the cold weather?
Who?
You?
What? A human?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do you think
like
you can live out there for a while? Yeah.
In the straight cold, most survivalists say that without a fire, without an actual fire and shelter, you only a normal human can only survive 3 hours in harsh conditions before your body starts shutting down, because your body will take heat from your extremities, like your fingers and your hands and your legs and stuff like that, and put it into your core body, where your heart, your lungs, your kidneys and stuff need to be saved. That's why people get frostbite on their fingers and their toes, is because the blood rushes away from those extremities, because your body thinks, oh, I can lose those things and still keep you alive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those. But yeah, they say in extreme harsh conditions, if you don't have shelter to protect you from the rain and the snow, and you don't have fire to keep yourself warm, the normal human body can last between 3 and 6 hours before they die.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. How long do you think you can survive with uh with a fire of not a fireplace? I mean with like a camp, you know, if you build yourself a camp and everything else and have your canned
You
foods
can
and everything.
survive forever if you have a big enough and hot enough fire.
Like a
Like,
fire.
um,
There you go.
yeah. I mean, as long as you have a fire, you can survive. Like, you're not going to enjoy it, but you can survive.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I mean, nobody likes to be cold. Nobody.
Mm-mm. Or hot.
Yeah. Like what White Wolf said. Yeah, hyperthermia will sit in. Like, I mean, you also get hypothermia from just the dampness of your breath breathing in the cold.
Yep.
Like, that's why in extreme cold conditions you need wool clothing. Like what I was saying before, with wool, it doesn't matter. Like, if you have a wool jacket, a wool overshirt, you have wool underwear, like wool underjohn and like lawn johns and stuff. It doesn't matter if you're soaking wet. Wool will keep 50% of its heat retention.
Now,
So that's why lumberjacks and everything always wore wool, no matter in extreme negative temperatures, like down to -20.
so what kind of foods would you need to survive I mean, any kind of canned foods? Or does
Yeah,
that be like
no, you can
I mean,
survive on any canned food.
but
I mean,
you need your veggies, you need your meats, but of course you can hunt to get that.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, canned food weighs a lot. I mean, it weighs a lot, and if if you don't, I mean, food nowadays come in packets, pre-packs, like it makes it lighter and stuff like that. But canned food has a better shelf life. It can survive a lot more.
well, how about you like well, that's kind of stupid of me saying this, but how about those little baggies that like kind of like suck up the wind and everything? Could you use one of them? And how long versus that and the canned food? Would you think that would last?
Wait, what now?
Okay, you know how they have those little bags and you suck up the air out of it so the food can last in the bag. Is that
Yeah, the space
possible?
saver
Yeah,
bags or whatever.
but is that possible? Could how what's the stage of life in that versus the can?
It's like dehydrating.
Yeah, yeah,
You take the air completely out of it,
yeah.
because air to food is what makes food go bad. Um, if you take the air out of it and you vacuum seal it, it can last months to a year if it's fresh food. Like, say you cook a steak and then you vacuum seal it.
Yeah.
It could last 6 months to a year. You could open it right back up and you know, eat it right there.
But
Um,
is it also good? Like when you open it up, you can actually preserve your meal because you think about it. You're not just not gonna want it have that whole can to open another one. You're gonna have to watch what you eat out of the can. Sort of like
yeah, yeah. I mean, you if you open up a can, say you open up a family size can of chicken and rice soup,
yeah.
and you can only eat half of it.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can put that thing in a plastic bag and vacuum seal it, and it'll still be good a year later.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people do for backpacking trips on, like, the Appalachian Trail and everything. I mean, all their food and everything is pre-made food at their house and they vacuum sealed it and they just open it up and cook it.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you have when you get to your house, do you already have a pack ready for you?
Yeah.
Ready to
Yeah,
go?
I already got a pack. Yeah,
Like
I've got I
first
got
aid kit, everything that you need just in case the car stalls. You have
yeah,
your flashlight? Okay. All right.
yeah. I've got everything. Like I have 15 bags ready to go for different situations. Like right now, I'm going to go get my winter survival kit right now, which is already a pre-packaged bag. It's got all my winter clothes in it. It's got all my wife's winter clothes in it. It's got everything to start a fire, to keep warm. I've got body size heat warmers where I put it where it's like a vest that you put on, and it's just these heat pads that keep your body warm for 8 hours, and you wear it under your clothes. Um, those hot hand things. They make body size versions of hot hands, and
Oh,
that's what you use in like really extreme weather, and it keeps your body warm for 8 hours.
and you also need the proper gloves too and proper boots just in case.
Yes, I am White Wolf.
Am I right though? You need to wear the proper gloves just in
Yeah,
case, and like proper boots and everything. And
yeah.
uh,
You need. I mean, you wear wool socks. You wear thick enough boots that will retain heat.
mhm.
Um, they have, like they're called mountaineer boots. They have an insulation on the inside of it that keeps your feet warm. It's what people wear in Montana and everything when they go to the Alps and stuff.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, when they go to the Rocky Mountains and everything, like it keeps your feet warm because your hands and your feet are the first things that will get frostbite. I mean, you'll lose dexterity in your hands, you'll lose feeling in your feet. Like,
And you also got to think about facial wear too. I mean, because with your nose, you got to use kind of some kind of cream, so you can put something on your nose for frostbite and
yes,
stuff like
man,
that.
mystical.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I mean, because I know it's movies, but like you see, like some people putting like some kind of stuff on their nose so they don't have frostbite. You know, um,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's called seal wax.
Oh, okay. Didn't
Like,
know that
you
part.
put that stuff over your. I mean, it's kind of like a body version of chapstick, pretty much.
Now,
And
sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, you
Now,
go.
how about like a water containers? Like, is it also good to just have a water container full of like liquid just in case you do get stuck somewhere? At least you have enough for you and your wife, like gallons of milk, like gallons of water. Sorry,
Yeah.
you think about milk, I meant water. Like, are you gonna
Yeah,
throw?
I mean, the a normal human needs between a gallon to a gallon and a half of water a day.
I'm getting my
So,
interview.
uh,
I said I'm getting my interview finally.
yeah,
Shit.
nah, yeah, you need the average human, depending on the size, like an average female needs at least a gallon of water a day. An average male needs a gallon to a gallon and a half a day. But if they're bigger built, they need at least 2 gallons of water a day.
Yeah.
Like, not, and I'm not talking about like muscle bound giants or anything, but like bigger people, a heavier set person would
Yeah.
need 2 gallons of water a day.
Yeah.
Um, it's, and that's per person per day. So in any kind of emergency situation, you at least need 3 gallons of water.
I didn't cancel my interview. I'm just letting y'all know.
Yeah.
Something came up with someone else by accident.
Yeah, it's been on my fault, and I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good, brother. I got another thing. I got another question for you. Okay. How about like tent with rope? You know what I mean? Like of course you're gonna need, like if you're out in the wilderness, you're gonna need housing, like tent wise. You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna need that extra rope to actually, I mean, so I know everyone's gonna have their car, but whatever, your car runs out of gas, you're not always gonna live in your car. You're gonna
Right.
need, like you said.
I mean, technically, in any kind of survival situation, if you are in a car, you don't want to leave the car.
Yeah.
I mean, the car is going to be the best shelter for you. Like
Yeah.
in a situation like this, like, if I'm driving, like when I'm driving back to San Antonio and anything, if I see a car broken down on the side of the road, yeah, say their battery dies and they're stuck on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get heat or anything in the car, but yeah, it's going to be cold in there, but you are protected from the wind, you are protected from the rain, and the car's not going to leak. A tent, even a makeshift shelter with a tarp or anything, it's going to leak. It's going to give up the ghost sooner or later. But it maybe not in the first 72 hours. It's not. But if there's ice, like tents, really 90% of tents are not made to stand up to ice unless you literally get Arctic tents that is military grade. But those tents are expensive. Nobody's wanting to spend $200 to $300 for a Arctic 1-person military tent. That's stupid.
Yeah.
You could buy a whole entire emergency kit for half that price.
Well, when I never you were telling me,
yeah, but they're still out there in the elements in the car, but it's better to be out there in the elements in the car than it is under a 6x8 tarp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can huddle up and keep yourself warm by curling in a fetal position. You can, that's why I always tell people to keep a blanket in their car, a pillow in their car, even extra jackets or sweatshirts, or even sweatpants in your car, because you can put the sweatpants underneath your regular blue jeans. You can put on more and more. You can always add more layers to yourself, but you can only take off a certain amount of layers before you get in trouble with the police.
Mm-hmm. So
what? All right, Nicole Zeus.
Hey, Nicole. So, what do you think about hygiene kits and first aid kits? Like, what kind of stuff do you need for that? Like,
yeah, White Wolf. But what were you saying, Eli?
What do you think about what kind of stuff do you prepare for your pack for first aid kits?
Gosh, pretty much the best thing to do is to buy one of those pre-made first aid kits from Walmart or something, like the $20 to $30 one, because that's gonna be filled up with like all the gauze, all the band-aids, all the antiseptics that you need. But there's stuff in those med kits that you will need that don't come with it, like an Insta Splint An Insta-Splint is a piece of bendable like metal or plastic that say you break your arm or you sprain your ankle or something. An Insta-Splint can be molded to whatever you need. Say you break your wrist. Say you break your forearm.
Yeah.
Okay. You can Insta-Splint and build it around your arm, make it take the shape of your forearm, then wrap it with ace tape, and you already have a instant splint to set the fracture or the break, so you don't worsen whatever you have. Say you just cracked your arm. Instead of breaking it the rest of the way, you put the Insta-Splint on it, you wrap it with ace, and it's set, and it won't break it, break any further.
Oh, okay. Smart. How about hygiene kits?
Yeah, newbie. Hold on, brother.
Oh, go ahead. No.
Yeah, those the little hot hand things. Yeah, I use those all the time too, brother. Yeah, I put them in my boots. I put them in my gloves. But now the hot hands create a full body hot hands, and you put it on like a vest, and you put it in your boxers, and it rolls down your legs, the front part of your leg and the back part of your leg, and it ties around your waist, and your boxers keep it in place and your pants keep it in place, but it'll keep your whole body warm for 8 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean they're expensive. They're like $30, but it's well worth it.
You know that the thing I was looking up just now, it can come with 8 body warmers, and it costs $200 bucks, but you get like 8 body warmers, 8 socks, and like everything that's heavy duty for like cold winter days. That's not bad.
I mean, it's not. I mean, if you look at it, if it's helping you survive, if your life is worth more than anything else, like you only have one life, but anything you can buy again. That's something. Even if you spend that $200 to save yourself, that's cheaper than it is a hospital bill. And it's cheaper than a funeral also. I'm just saying, it's cheaper on your family than a funeral. So anything that you can get that will save yourself, do it.
So how about hygiene kit?
Hygiene kits, I mean, most survivalists don't really worry about hygiene because people don't really care about taking baths in a survival situation. Like, people don't really care about brushing their teeth in a survival situation. That's a lot of survivalists believe that the only thing you truly need for a hygiene kit is toilet paper, baby wipes, and that's it. Like, but toothpaste, well, you could probably use mouthwash because the alcohol in the mouthwash, you could put a cotton ball in it and you could dry out the cotton ball and use it as a fire tender.
Yeah. Or you do it because it has alcohol in it. Is it possible, like, just in case you run out of rubbing alcohol for your cuts, could you use that?
Yeah, you could use that too. Yeah. I mean, straight up alcohol, yeah. As long as it's over 50% alcohol, if it's you want to get the highest percentage of alcohol as you can, because the purer the alcohol, the hotter and the longer it will burn.
Yeah. We got to think about you could use for like toothpaste for something else, something like you could paste something. You know what I mean? You might need something to hold something together. Like you can use anything really for anything you want to survive.
Toothpaste, toothpaste doesn't really have that many uses.
It could be your food source, just in case you don't have anything to eat.
Yeah, I mean, you can use it like that, but I mean, people in the survival community, they want things that have more than two uses.
Yeah.
So, like cotton swabs. Cotton swabs can be used to plug up a hole from a bullet hole, or if you fall on a stick and it jabs into your shoulder, you can pull the stick out, jab it into the wound. You can use it, to soak up the blood. You can use it as fire tinder. You can use it, if you had to in an emergency situation, you could use it as toilet paper. That they're that's just a cotton ball,
Yeah.
Hey, Victor. But yeah, like toothpaste and everything, like they don't see more than 1 to 2 uses for it, so they don't really consider it a must-have survival item.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because if you're lost in the woods or you're in a survival situation, everything, you don't really care about taking a bath. You really don't care about brushing your teeth. You're worried more about getting out of that situation and being found than making yourself look pretty for when the rescue team come and gets you. That's how most of like for an inch bag, a never coming home bag, yeah, you want those things in that. But a survival bag, no, you don't want that, because it's just added space that could be used for something else.
Yeah.
Because after you're found or after you save yourself, you can brush your teeth and take a bath later.
How about weapons?
Wait,
did you talk about that already?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, weapons, we don't consider weapons as a survival thing. Even a knife, we don't consider a weapon. We use it as a weapon as very, very, very last resort. A knife is a survival tool. A fixed blade knife is used to cut your wood, to make your tinder. It's used to cut open the prey that you find. It's used to make shelters. It's a tool. It's not a weapon. You're not fighting off other humans in a survival situation. If you did come to a situation where you did land say you did make a pitfall trap and the pig or the deer or whatever fell into the pitfall trap, it's a tool to dispatch the animal. It's not like you're going Rambo and going to jump on the deer or the boar and stab it 400 times.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be in that situation anyways. Because I don't think can make it.
like what White Wolf said, the reason why we don't use toothbrushes and toothpaste and everything is because nature, there's things called horse twigs that can be used as a toothbrush. You know, it was used by the Native Americans as a toothbrush. There's a there's sassafras. I can't say the word sassafras root that can be used as toothpaste and mouthwash. I mean, but yeah, it's one of those things. It like those things. Not to make fun of people, but city folk believe, oh, you need a toothbrush, you need this and this and this. But no, nature provides what man has already made.
Yeah.
Yeah, sassafras. That's it. Thank you, Beth. I can say it if I see it, but
sassafras. Sounds like sassafras. Get ass or whatever.
But yeah, like trying to say it just straight off the tongue, I get tongue tied on it.
Man. How about if you don't have any toilet paper?
If you don't have any toilet paper, you use leaf. You use leaves, and you want to use a cupped leaf because you don't want you don't want to use a leaf that's falling apart. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And actually, you don't even need toilet paper. I mean, you can. What you do in that kind of situation is you find your water source. If it's a running stream or whatever, you go 100 paces downstream and 100 paces away from the bank, and you dig a 6 foot by 6 foot hole, and you use the bathroom in that, and you wash your ass with that water. Yeah, wipe your ass on the grass. Right, White Wolf. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, I am almost home, so we're gonna get this live stream. We're gonna get this live stream going here in a second. I'm almost home. I'm sorry.
The reason why I say weapons is because let's say if there's no police, no nothing, and people are gonna try to hurt you for your stuff. You're gonna have to fight back.
That's a urban survival thing. That's different than that's a whole different beast right there. Like if you
right back.
Most people are not going to stay, like most survivalists are not going to stay in an urban environment. Yeah. I'm going to tell you that right now. 90%, most of the people that know survivalism are going to be out in the woods. They're going to be away from humanity because in that kind of situation, say the end of the world happens, and or a AKA zombie apocalypse or whatever. The only people that's going to stay in the city are the city dwellers. And the city dwellers are going to be ran by the gangs and stuff like that. And the people that know how to survive in the wilderness are not going to be around humans at all. The only time that we would come out of the woods is if we need medicine, like truly need medicine. Like we broke a leg and we need pain pills or something. That's the only time we would go into the city to try to scavenge that. And yeah, then you would take a, you would take a gun, you take something with you as a weapon, you know. That is true, Beth.
I know the first thing when you get home, your wife's gonna be like, "Let's get to a hotel. I don't want to talk about none of this.
Yep.
It's cold."
She's been sitting in the house with no power for the last 2 hours, so she's been bundled up and everything. So I actually may just show y'all briefly what I'm gonna take with me, but I'm gonna have to actually worry about getting her warm and taking her to a hotel.
You can talk at the hotel and make sure you guys get to stay there safe first.
Yeah, I'll probably redo. I'll probably restart the live when I get to the hotel.
Yeah, good idea.
To let everybody know everything's good and stuff.
I mean, it's up to you. I just thought that when you could take your time when she's warm in the house. I'm in the hotel, and you can show us your bag and everything.
Yeah, I could do that.
We get warm first.
Yeah. Yeah. My main goal and everything. My main worry. My main goal is getting her taken care of.
Exactly.
That is true too, newbie. You always want to. See. My grandfather always told me that you always want the cup leaf, the leaf that cups in your hand, because when you wipe with it, it will flatten and then it will cup back up. So if there's any what he called dingleberries, it'll land in the leaf and not in your hand. So so yeah, that's what you want to do with leaves. I mean, any leaf, as long as it's from the tree, is good. You don't want to pull any leaves off of the vine from the bark. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, the whole entire thing that I was talking about was like, if you're near a running water, a good water source, you don't want to bathe and you don't want to wash your ass in the water that you're drinking from. You want to go 100 yards down from the area that you're drinking, then find the bank to the water and take 100 yards away from that and dig a 6 foot by 6 foot hole. Because if you do your business in the water, predators won't smell you and try to come to your tent. Because I've heard from other survivalists and everything, and it's happened to me too, where I popped a squat beside a tree and everything, and I didn't bury it. This was when I was young and dumb, and there was brown bears that would come around and smell where I used the bathroom.
Wow.
And That's why I say build a water, a water drop, because if it drops in the water, the animals can't smell it. So then you can just wash yourself and you don't have to really worry about leaves or anything. You can just, wash your hands and wash your ass from that water that's in that 6 foot by 6 foot, pretty much natured toilet.
I'm talking to you and eating chips.
Oh, you're good, brother. You're good.
It ain't a good survival tool.
Oh, trust me, that salt that's all those chips is a good survival tool. That salt builds up replenishes your electrolytes. That's why everybody says to bring some salt packets with you in a survival pack. Like if you're out in the woods or anything like that, you take one little packet of salt and put it on your tongue and you drink it with water and it replenishes your electrolytes that you lost. Because salt works wonders. Salt can purify wounds. Salt can, be a gargle for your mouth. It can clean. You can use it as a body scrub in the water to scrub yourself clean. I mean, there's 1,000 uses for salt. Just like sugar. Sugar's the exact same way. They tell you to bring at least 5 sugar cubes with you in a survival bag also. Yeah, White Wolf, yeah.
It's crazy.
The thing is, I mean, nature is curious. Nature doesn't care that you're human. If a wild animal wants to get into your area, it's going to get into your area. It does not matter.
Yeah.
It does. If it's hungry enough and you smell like food, it's going to come after you. But that's why a lot of survivalists say the worse you stink. If you stink really bad in a survival situation, animals won't want to mess with you. Because animals supposedly hate the smell of dirty humans.
Yeah, true.
Like it's unappealing to them or something.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I don't know how true that is because I never played with that kind of scenario, and I'm never going to. So I really don't know how to handle that kind of situation. It's one of those. I will leave that to people that think they know what they're doing. Because for me, I ain't putting my life on the line for that kind of survival situation.
True.
But let me put this link back up. If anybody wants to join, I love you, Eli, but I'm going to let other people up here too. You can still stay up here, brother. If anybody else has any questions, you know what I mean?
I'm out of questions.
Yeah, if anybody else wants to come up here, because I know Dave's out there in the chat, and White Wolf's out there. I
Yeah,
mean, if anybody wants to come up here, y'all can. We can discuss this stuff until I get home. Yep, we got a boot. We got a Beth.
Yeah, and Beth has a question for an Eli.
Uh-oh, what you got, Beth?
Oh, boy.
Do you feel you could survive in the situation that Matt is in right now?
I'm not. To be honest, no. I'm not gonna lie. How about you?
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, this is a basic. This is basic.
Well, to be honest, like if it happened right now, you're gonna have to. It's a must. You're gonna have to find your way around it. Because I mean, you're not just stay in your bed or in your sofa. You're gonna have to find food. You're gonna have to find.
Well, like I said earlier in the chat, when I was with that jerk in Maine,
Yeah,
he was constantly kicking me out in the middle of the night. And one time
Really?
it was during a blizzard, and he wouldn't let me put any outer clothing on.
What?
Yeah.
That. I'm sorry, Beth, but fuck that asshole.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes, ma'am. That is the truth.
I just kept walking, which kept me warm.
Yeah.
The walking got harder and harder as the snow piled up, but it kept me warm. I didn't lose any body parts.
Well, that's the thing that Cody Lundeen did on Dual Survivor. Like they were in the Rocky Mountains, and it was like 5 foot of snow in the Rocky Mountains, and him and Dave Canterbury were separated, right? And they had to find each other, and it just got through raining, so all the wood and everything. Because okay, Cody Lundeen is a naturalist, survivalist. So he does everything like native tribes do. He does, um, he does the hand drill, he does the bow drill, he does stuff like that. He doesn't carry lighters or anything on him, and all the wood, even the cedar wood, was too wet to make a fire. So all he had was a plastic contractor bag, and he filled that thing up with leaves and everything. And this guy, he walks barefooted and with shorts on. Like he doesn't wear any outer layers or nothing. Like he's straight up 100%. Like he lives in Arizona, and all he did that night in the rain and everything was he loaded that contractor bag up with leaves, and he was doing exercises all night long to keep himself warm.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to keep that body moving, because if you stop, you're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, there was a number of times that I thought about it.
Right.
Because I was getting tired, and I was crying the whole time, so that wasn't helping,
And that wore you out even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely thought about just plopping myself in the snowbank and forgetting it.
And and I'm glad you didn't do it, Beth. Telling you the truth right now, I'm glad you didn't do it.
I was so pissed, though. I wasn't going to let him win, you know?
Right? That's my girl. That's what that's what you got to do. You got to have that. That's the number one rule of any survivalist. You have to have the will to survive. if you don't have the will to survive,
Right.
it's the same thing like what you were going to say. You just might as well just lay down and die,
Yeah.
because if you don't have the willpower, you're screwed.
Yeah, and by the time he came out looking for me, if I had done that, I would have been dead
Yeah,
because it was several hours later.
yeah, yeah. Newbie. I mean, but Newbie, he shows how truly badass he really is. Like a guy from Arizona going up to dead freezing temperatures and just shorts and socks. Like, he'll walk in 6 to 8 inches of snow with just 2 pairs of wool socks on. He doesn't even wear shoes.
That's
Like, yeah, like that's what he is. Like, and he's never got frostbite. He never, did anything. Like, he's still doing this stuff to this day. Like, he's really truly a badass. Like, and all he doesn't carry survival gear like everybody else does. He knows how to use it, but he doesn't carry it. He truly relies on nature for everything. Like, if nature has it, he will find it and use it. The only thing he carries is a Mora knife. It's not even a full tang knife. It's a stick tang knife. And he's, it's one of those things, like, he shows people how to survive with literally bare minimum to nothing. Yeah,
that avatar just wasn't right for here.
Yeah, it's all good, Beth. I don't care what avatar you find.
Survival, and he's drinking a hot coffee from the store. Just kidding. No.
Who, me? Yeah.
Just kidding.
It keeps you going.
It looks like it.
Hey, I live on coffee, brother.
I know. I'm just kidding.
It's actually cold now, but whatever.
It's just like me eating a pizza right now. But no,
gosh.
I couldn't live off that. I'm sorry, I could not live like that. I'm too cold right now thinking about it.
Oh no, Eli.
Well, you gotta think, Eli's a Texan, so
Yep.
like my wife's a Texan by birth, so it's like, if it gets below 60, oh my God, hell has frozen over for her. So right now she's literally freezing right now.
Yeah, I don't start warming up until it's like 85 out.
And then if it gets above 70, I'm pouring sweat. Like, like it feels like I'm a tea bag in Satan's teacup. Like.
Yeah, it may take a lot to warm me up, but I'm not gonna be a baby about it.
Right?
I'll find a way through it,
Yeah, those are survival panties. Part of every kid.
They keep you really warm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet you.
Hey, plus you got something sexy to wear if you find a hot survival rescuer.
Oh, I need some warmness, baby.
Yeah, I don't think it'd do much for the Undertaker. Maybe a chuckle and a joke, but
yeah, true. Jump down the pants. Like, okay, I'm warm now.
Yeah, there was a.
Oh, wait a minute. It would be good for survival. Tourniquet.
Yeah. Yes, that is true. It would be. I mean, all you need is a good thick piece of string, and you can make a tourniquet easy.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what that was. So that
I mean, yeah,
in a stick, and just put it in there and twist it. You got a tourniquet.
and yeah, seriously, ladies, put a G-string in your survival kit.
Right?
That's a a ghetto tourniquet.
With the
Hey,
guy that,
whatever works, you know.
Yep. What are you gonna say, Eli?
you know that Don guy, the one that chops down forest.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What about him? I thought there was more.
I thought that was too.
Paper towel guy that had the little
Brawny guy.
yeah, that guy. You never know. You might use one of the words.
Wow.
You get warm.
Oh, I love you, Eli.
You never know.
Oh.
You know, there's an opposite to this situation too.
Yeah.
Surviving in extreme heat without a way to cool down.
Yeah.
That is true, Beth. That's what I'm gonna do. That's why I wanna do my survival, like my survival TV show. Like something bad has happened, and I wanna do it like with everybody. Do a help me with the word, Eli. Where a collaboration.
Eli,
I want to do a collaboration with
he asks
everybody.
everyone else for the words. You're asking him?
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sorry, man.
Yes, newbie. Yep.
I thought he would be more, like that.
Your newbie is right though. The red, good for
I would
signaling.
never join because I would be too slow for the team.
If you're in it, especially in the snow, red shows up really well.
No, that would make me hurt. Ow.
But that's what I'm wanting to do in the summer. I'm wanting to start this. I've already got the idea of the basic storyline of my survival TV show that I want to make, and it's like a Walking Dead kind of TV show, but instead of like other survival channels, walking people through like how to make a bowline knot, or something like that. Like I'm actually showing what these items are used for in a real survival situation instead. Like the first of it is going to be me alone surviving, but I'm not going to be second star or anything. I'm going to be, whatever my character's name is. And it's going to be, I'm showing you the skills to survive, but actually doing it to survive. And other people on here do the collaborations and like make a small survivalist camp, and try to make it through the seasons and stuff, and see how long we can survive before we all just end up dying. Kind of like Walking Dead, but no zombie like things.
And this is Matt's way of getting rid of the people he calls friends.
Yes, ma'am. There you go.
Well, I don't know to find friends now these days.
I'll be like Eli, go down there and take a right. And he falls into a deadfall trap.
Oh no!
Box. I'm going.
Hi, Nocturnal Nation.
Yeah. How you doing, Nocturnal Nation?
Hey, Nocturnal Nation.
Thank you for showing up. But yeah, it's just, my God, there is a road closure sign going to my house.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah,
how are you gonna get around that?
You don't.
I have to make a circle around and go the back way to the house now, which is an extra 15 minutes out of the way. See, that's another thing that you have to worry about.
Yeah.
Like, if trees fall or the power lines,
Or a lonely female named Beth walking along need help.
Oh
yeah,
no.
that too. Nah, I'd pick Beth up and I'd be like, hey, come on, I'll
Come
take you somewhere.
Take you somewhere where you're appreciated. Yeah.
Right.
Might get gas money.
But yeah, no, see, that's another thing. You can't always that's something that I can tell y'all. You can't always rely on the same route that you always take,
Right.
because there could be road closures, there could be a tree that's fallen over. That's why I was saying, know what tools you need to take with you. Like, I have a small I have a small gas powered tree limb chopper, and it's got a small chainsaw on it. It's only a 5-inch chainsaw blade on it, but it's gas powered and everything. And I throw that thing in the back of my SUV to take with me instead of a full size chainsaw, just in case if I just need to cut branches off of a tree to circle around it.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's no sense in literally bringing a 16-inch chainsaw with you in the back unless, you literally need to get out of Dodge.
Or you're going out to help somebody else.
Yeah, see, yep, that's true too, Beth. But like what David said, see, some people only know one way to get home and they get totally lost, and they can't get home any other way. That is true too. That's why you need to have a map of every back road that you can take to get to your house. Everybody needs to know a plan B to get to their house,
But then there's me.
Yeah.
My other option would be going through the woods.
See, that
Yeah.
would be plan C. That would be the only other way, because I only have two ways to get to my one-way street. So
I'm on a cul-de-sac.
Oh, see, I'm not like
in the middle of nowhere.
See, I have one main way to get in. Then I have another way that I have to do a complete turnaround and go all the way around an extra 10 miles to circle around to come through the back way over the Guadalupe River. And if that way's backed up, then the only other option I have is to literally stop wherever I am, then walk to wherever I can get to, and then go through the woods to my area, because I'm on 7 acres. So
yeah, I'm on a cul-de-sac that's off a side road, that's off a side road, that's off a highway.
Yeah.
So,
see, that's so horrible. Like, so many people are put into cul-de-sacs now that it has one way in and one way out only,
yeah.
and the government and the city builders and stuff like that, they don't think about what if scenarios. They don't think, oh, what happens if we make this cul-de-sac down at the bottom of a 90-degree hill, and we're in the middle of Minnesota. How the hell is anybody going to get up that hill? You know, like.
See, I'm on the hill, so when it floods, I'm good here,
right?
But I may not be able to go down the highway.
Yeah, but it's also the bad thing. Like, what happens if it floods and you're in the city and you need to get home? You know, you're stuck before even getting over it.
Right.
Like, see, and that's another thing. Like, the city builders don't look at that either. You know, it's like, yeah, we'll put this house right here.
I'm not in the city though either. I'm in
the country. Okay, yeah. See, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like, I mean,
that's why my other option is going through the woods.
Yep. That's the same with me. Like, that would be the only way. Like, I only have 3 neighbors on my street, you know, like. I've always thought about making another driveway on the farther end of my road and having it come into my house, because it's on top of the hill and I could just drive straight to my house, and I would have a back out driveway in case, like, because I live on 100-year floodplain, and my driveway that I have right now is in the flood pattern. So if it floods, I can't get out or anything.
Wow.
So that's why I'm thinking about making that secondary back driveway, is so if it does flood on my main driveway, at least I have that extra way to get out and leave. But that takes time and energy that I just don't have working as much as I do, you know?
At one place I lived was actually on a mountain, and I was the last building at the top of that mountain.
Right.
And I found out the hard way. If it started snowing when I was down in the city, I wasn't getting back home.
Yeah.
I better find somewhere to go until the snow is cleared, because there's no way I was getting back up that mountain.
Yeah, and you know that that's the same way out here in San Antonio. Like, San Antonio, their road systems do not have any way of water distribution. Like, if it rains heavy for like 2 or 3 days, the main highway will shut down because there's just nowhere for the water to go. And they don't even have a rain collection to collect the rainwater.
It's that way here too.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't understand. And they talk about
almost the whole state is under a flood warning right now.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That is.
We've had rain for about a week, and for the rest of this coming week, it's still rain every day in the forecast.
That is crazy. You know, most states go through drought at least 2 times a year. Why don't they find a way to harvest the rainwater? You know,
it's illegal here, believe it or not.
Is it?
Yeah, you can't have a rain barrel. You can't have anything that. Yeah, if you get caught, you get fined.
That is fucked up, Beth. I'm sorry, but that's fucked up.
And that's the whole state.
I tell you what, oh my God. See, here in Texas, they actually give you a tax break if you recycle the rainwater. If you collect rainwater and you reuse it, and like, say you only use like 200 gallons a year, and the rest of it's rainwater. They actually give you a tax break. They will literally pay you for saving water here in Texas.
No, they don't here.
That is stupid. Wow.
In fact,
Like,
when
Texas,
we
they want
are
you
in
to
a
go,
drought, we can
yeah.
only use water every other day.
Oh my God. We're humans. We need water, especially for our animals. And,
That's why you have to have bottled water on hand.
wow. Wow. That is something that the state made with the bottling companies to try to make money for those companies. That is bullshit.
Well, there's only one water company here, too. It's a racket.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Matt, I'm
Wow.
getting a phone call, so I'll look up, see if you're live again in a little bit. So
Wait, what?
I said I'm gonna hop down. I gotta make a phone call. So,
Okay, brother.
I got catch y'all later.
All right, take care, brother. I'll see you in a minute. If you need the link, just let me know.
Yeah, hook me up, man.
I was
I got
really in shock when I moved down here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Found out the water was metered and you had to pay for it. Like, what?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That is, oh my word. That is stupid. I can't see. I can't see that running through my head. Like, wow. I guess because I was born and raised in Tennessee, and we had so much water and everything that we never had bottled water until maybe the early 2000s when Coca-Cola made Aquafina.
Yeah.
And even then, everybody was laughing because they were like, who's going to pay $2 for a 16-ounce bottle of purified drinking water? Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
Especially when it comes from the same spot you get it from in your tap water, anyhow.
Yeah. That's so stupid. Oh my God. Like, we had literally mountain fresh water coming out of bubbling springs all over the place around my house in Tennessee. Like,
Yeah, it's like that in Massachusetts, too. Once a
yeah.
week, we go to a spring and fill up containers and bring it home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's right at the source. But
Yeah, right out of the mountain.
yeah, it is the cleanest water ever.
Yeah.
But then you get people on survival channels and stuff that are saying, "Oh, don't drink from water sources or anything without boiling your water and everything because you can get cryptosporidium and giardia and all that stuff."
I've had that. Oh, that was not fun.
Well, I mean, I had it too when I was little, but once you've had it, you can't get it again. It your body builds up immune to it.
Hi,
It's
country boy.
hey,
Does it
country boy,
really?
how you doing, brother?
I mean, when I had my youngest son,
Yeah.
everyone in maternity was sick. They couldn't figure
Oh,
out why.
really?
Yeah, they couldn't figure out why. It was
Yeah.
Giardia. The whole,
Yeah.
every bit of the water in the city was contaminated.
Yep. It, that's
They called it
poor.
beaver fever, but
Yeah, they always call it beaver fever. I don't understand why they call it beaver fever. I mean, Well, some Giardia cases, yeah, it's because the beaver dam built up at the running, the mouth of the creek or whatever, the
Yeah,
mouth of the
the
stream.
reservoir did have beavers living in it, so
Oh, okay then. That's understandable.
yeah, it made sense.
Yeah.
But nobody trusted the water again after that.
See, yeah, that's bad planning on the water conservation, that's human error right there. That water's supposed to be purified, it's supposed to be already taken care of with chemicals and all that stuff, but
They put
it,
chlorine in it. That was it.
wow, that was it.
And they put so much in it, you could actually smell it in the tap water coming out of the tap.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wow, I'm surprised there wasn't more birth defects or anything with that much.
Well, there are a lot of them there, but
Oh, is there?
yeah.
Wow. Well, that explains it, dude.
It's like,
Human
really?
Humans fuck up everything, Beth.
Right?
Oh,
Why do you think we went to that spring and got spring water all the time?
right. Yeah, like, yeah. I mean, people got to understand. Nature is going to get in the way of everything. I mean, you can still drink the water and everything. Yeah, you have I mean, like what happened to your water reservoir, you had beavers literally building dams where they shit and piss and live and
Yeah,
do everything
they
in
could have
it.
relocated them.
Yeah, that's what they should have did. But
And it would have
most
hurt
survivalists
anybody.
say, yeah, but most survivalists say, oh, you don't know what's at the top of that water or anything. There could be a there could be a dead deer or something that's going to cause giardia or cryptosporidium, but that's not true. It's also the fish that's in the water that's pissing and
Yeah.
crapping in the water. I mean, there's the insects that's doing the exact same thing.
There's
It
General Electric that's dumping their chemicals in it.
Yeah. I mean,
That was where I grew up too.
oh, really?
Yeah, oh yeah. PSBs. Yeah, PSBs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
newbie. That's true also. Yeah. I
It,
mean, the beavers, they love the slow moving water and everything, so
right.
flock there. Um, but like most creeks and streams that you get, it's fast moving water.
Right.
My grandfather that was Cherokee, he's the one that taught me if water has passed over, 10 big, flat, smooth rocks, it's safe to drink because the rocks and everything would collect the debris and all that stuff. Then you can drink what's left out of it as long as you go 100 paces down from where that is. Um, and I got sick once, and that was when I was 10 years old, and I had giardia. I was throwing up, I had diarrhea and everything, but
Yeah.
we were also 15 miles away from the city of McDonough, Georgia. So that was close to the city. So I think I got sick from the city, the city pollutions in it, not because of nature.
That's very likely
Mm-hmm.
because they don't tell us everything they do to the water either.
Right.
Or
That
don't
is
do.
true. Yeah, but
But the water smelled like chlorine and fish. You didn't want
yeah,
to drink it.
no, that, oh God, just the description alone
Right.
makes me want to throw up in my mouth.
My mother couldn't understand why I wouldn't drink just water. I'm like, it's
Mm,
gross. I can't get it past my nose.
right, like that's a spell that you can't get over.
Yeah,
That is,
my brain said this is not good. Don't do it.
yeah. You got to listen to you. But people think, oh, it comes out of my faucet, so it's got to be purified.
Oh no.
So,
And when I
it,
was growing up, no one had purifiers anyhow.
yeah, yeah. That, that's a new thing that's a new thing that's came out because of the creator of the life straw. I mean, and also the military. The military's always had the water purifiers, but it really wasn't for civilian use until like the
Right.
you know, last 30 years.
I mean, my uncle had a purifier, but
Yeah,
he also was a survivalist.
right.
He taught mountain uh,
Yeah,
first aid and rescue.
right.
He was an EMT. Uh, he's the one I learned all the well, not all, the majority of the outdoor stuff from.
Nice.
And I'll
Um,
tell you, the day he gave me pink lemonade and then tells me afterwards it was made out of red ants. I never trusted anything he made again.
My grandfather did the exact same thing with me.
No wonder you're laughing so hard. I didn't think it was funny.
I'm sorry.
And he
I
had to
thought
tell
that
me
was,
because
I thought that only happened to me.
he he had to tell me because my grandmother walked in and told me to put the glass down.
Mm.
He wasn't even going to tell me, but she was mad he was doing that.
Oh,
She's
that's
like,
great.
Alan, you didn't bring ants into my house again, did you? And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, country boy. Yeah, rocks. As long as rocks are around, like gravel rocks and big rocks, as long as it's in the path of the moving water, it it is a makeshift purifier. It will collect the debris and everything and hold it
Yeah,
because the rocks are porous and it will collect all that junk and everything. And then the sandy gravel will also collect it also, and it also runs through that. Um, what's up, Mulan, baby sis?
hey
And
Milan.
yeah, yeah, as long as it passes through, you know, gravel rock and big rocks, it's safe to drink. I mean, if if you see, if you see like, how should I put it? If you see stagnant, muddy, murky water and everything, and there's rocks in it, don't drink that. But
No,
you can literally put a bandana over the mouth of your bottle, even if it's muddy water. You can use that bandana as a filter and put the water in there and boil that water, and it's just going to be mud. I mean, it's going to be murky water, but
yeah,
as long as boil it, it'll kill any of those contaminants that's in there. It'll kill the insects that's in it. It'll kill any of the you know, disease carrying worms, stuff like that. As long as you bring the temperature, as long as you bring the boiling water up to 2 minutes of boiling, you can drink it while it's still murky. Les Stroud proved that when he was in Africa. Like, I mean, it's going to be murky, muddy water, but you can still drink it as long as it's boiled.
I'll tell you, after that Giardia, we were boiling it for like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. You can boil it. I mean, you can also purify water with just the sun's rays also. If you have like a Mylar blanket or something reflective, you can fill, say you're in a survival situation and you find a 2-liter clear 2-liter bottle. You fill that 2-liter bottle up and you put a Mylar blanket underneath it and you put it in direct sunlight, and in
Yeah,
6
heats it right up.
hours, do what?
Yeah, it heats it right up.
Yeah, the Mylar reflects the sun back through. I mean, the sun will come through it, then the Mylar will reflect it back out through it. Plus, the Mylar will heat up the water to a semi-boiling temperature. But it's that radiation that kills any of the bacteria that's inside of it. But you have to wait 6 hours for it. It does the same thing as those those water purification tablets. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the same purpose, except for you're not using chemicals to kill. You're actually using nature itself.
And it's super important to make sure it's safe drinking water, because if it's
Yeah.
not, and the reason you're drinking it is to hydrate yourself. Well, if
Yep.
you're getting sick, it means you're vomiting, you got diarrhea, you're just getting more dehydrated.
Yep.
You
That
don't
is
want
true.
that.
Yep. Well, there's some crackpot survivalists out there, Beth, that say it doesn't matter if you get sick or whatever. If you happen to get Giardia in a survival situation, as long as you keep drinking that water, you are still refilling. You're still refilling the fluids that you released.
No.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to say. The same thing, but you don't. But you should see how many people believe them. Like, these people have hundreds of thousands of viewers, and they're telling people this.
Wow.
And yeah, and they believe it.
And if it comes down to it, they're going to die because they
Right.
listened.
Yeah. That's why I say in a real survival situation, about 10% of real survivalists will survive. Like, because everybody else is, computer warriors. They believe what they've heard and everything, and they follow what they want to believe, and that's it.
I consider myself very lucky to have had an uncle that was into all that.
Yes, ma'am. And that should be the thing, but in a lot of families, they consider, like me and my family, they consider me the crazy apocalypse, member of the family. Like, they think I'm the crazy one that's trying to get everybody else killed in a,
Oh,
in a,
just the opposite.
yeah. And it's one of those things. It's like,
Yes, people, if it comes down to it, and you want water with flavor, you can use red ants.
right? Hey, hey, I'll tell you one thing. If you crush up fireflies and you boil it in water, it literally tastes like lemonade. Like
Well, I
it's
know
something
with
with
certain
that.
red ants, it does too.
Yeah, yeah.
And it
It's
looks
the
like
it's
pink
the acid
lemonade.
in their body.
Yeah.
Uh, like the firefly, it's that glow stuff that's in their body
Hmm.
that that sours the water and it tastes like hot lemonade.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I'd catch fireflies in a jar and watch
Yeah,
them at night in my bedroom. And it was like my homemade little glow stick, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it works. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
my grandmother had a jar of fireflies, and when I was really young and everything, I always wondered why she took the jar of fireflies out to the outhouse, and then you know, I when I went out to the outhouse, she had like 50 fireflies in there, and that thing lit up like a 50
Yeah.
lumen flashlight.
Yeah. It really does work.
Yeah. No, Mulan, I do not have kids. Me and my wife, we cannot have kids, but I do I do teach children that can't afford Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, and it's called Step Up Scouts.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, I most of it, like of their stuff and everything, like they're underprivileged kids, like
Yeah.
poor kids and everything. And most of the money, that's why I work so much, is so I can have the extra money to put into the Step Up Scouts. And I buy them all their equipment. I buy them their tents, their sleeping bags, their food for our trips and everything. And I they they're literally my kids, like they're my adopted children, and I would defend any of those kids with my life if I
Yeah.
had to.
I agree with Mulan. You would have made an awesome dad.
Thank you. Th- that means a lot to me. Thank you, Mulan. That Thank you. I always wanted to be a dad. Uh, but
Well, that's not always what life hands you either.
yeah, I always thought about I always thought about, adopting, but I work so much, and my wife works so much, and I don't want a kid. I don't want to raise a kid that does not have a mother and dad with them.
Yeah.
I'd rather them actually have a parent that's with them and see them and watch them grow up and not be the by
But
themselves.
doing what you're doing, you probably are a dad figure to a lot of those kids.
Yeah, there's one. His name's Billy, and he's been with me since he's been with me since he was 6.5, and now he's 14, and he's like my adopted son. Like,
Yeah.
and I love that boy. Like, I've literally had to go, like, his dad beat him one day, like, to an
Oh
inch of
no.
his life, and his mother called me, and I went over there, and I literally almost beat the life out of his drunken ass dad in front of him. And I told him, I was like, you ever lay a hand on him again, you will not wake up ever again. And after that night, that guy's never drunk another beer or anything. And
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, I put him in the hospital for almost 4 months. So
Oh no.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
went over
funny.
there with the SUV and I parked right in front of the front door and I put my high beams on and I beat on the front door and hit, and him and his mother already left and it was just his dad there.
No
And
witnesses.
yeah, and he opened up the door and everything, and I had a double barrel shotgun and I hit him straight in the face with the butt of it and knocked him to the ground and tore into him. I broke one of his legs, broke one of his arms, cracked 3 ribs, and I, I'm I'm not I'm not ashamed of what I did. I mean, a lot of people told me I should be ashamed for what I did, but I'm not.
Hey, you were protecting that kid, you know?
Thank you, Mulan. I would be a happy godfather for your child. Yours and Nubby's child.
All 27 of them?
Yeah, I don't care how many. I don't care how many it is.
I understand where you're coming from, though, because I used to teach preschool and kindergarten,
Right.
and yeah, there was times I had to stand up for those kids against their parents. In
Right.
fact,
I mean,
one little kid,
yeah.
um, he had a newborn sister, and I
Right.
was also the bus monitor, so I
Yeah.
saw stuff happening outside the school too,
Yeah.
and I knew there was something wrong. And the kids that had problems gravitated towards me.
Right.
So those were the kids I worked with all the time. You know,
Yeah.
either with birth defect or problems at home or there was
Right.
something special about them.
Yeah.
And this kid one day, he was over in the house play area
Uh-huh.
and he picked up a doll and threw it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
He says, "That's what my mommy does to my to baby sister." I said, "Oh,
What?
really?"
Yeah.
So I just let him continue on playing it, playing his mother.
Right.
And then I went and got the head teacher, took
Mm-hmm.
her out in the hallway and told her what was going on.
Yeah.
And I could add stuff in because I witnessed a lot of stuff from the bus too, which she already knew a good part of that. And
Yeah.
we had our eyes open, but and as a teacher, I was mandated to report stuff. So
Right.
and a few days later,
Yeah, country
I,
boy, I understand, brother.
the head teacher called me out into the hallway and she started questioning me again about everything. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
this is really weird. I already told her, but okay. You know?
Right. Yeah.
So I told her everything. And around one corner comes the school guidance counselor, another one, the principal, and another one, a guy I didn't know. And he
Yeah.
had a tape recorder in his hand.
Right.
And it's like, oh boy.
Uh-huh.
And she introduced me to the guy as being from social services. And I started to cry. He said,
Oh
it's okay.
no.
He says, it's okay. We already have the baby. And then I
Oh,
started
my
crying
goodness.
relief, you know? And then he says, "Are you a foster parent?" I'm like, "No." He
Right.
says, "Oh, no." He says, "I was all ready to send those kids home with you today."
Oh.
And so I'm like, "What do I have to do to become a foster parent?" You know?
Right? See that, that's the same thing with me, and it's like I I work so much and my wife works so much. It's like I don't want to. I can't bring a child up like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
not having a parent. It's it, to me that would be worse than where they are right now.
Well, you know what? When I was growing up, my
Mm-hmm.
dad always worked 2 or 3 jobs, but when he
Yeah.
was home, it was quality time.
Right. Uh, see that's how I grew up too. Like my dad worked first, second, third shift, and it was like he was never home, but when he did have an off day, it was like it was amazing, but
Yeah.
it was only for a limited amount of time because he needed his sleep for his next, 120-hour work shift. And now that I look back on it, like I I didn't I never wanted to work that much because I wanted the kid, and I wanted to be there for my kid. And now that I'm looking at it, I am following in my dad's footsteps.
Yeah. Yep.
Imagine that.
I sort of did too.
Yeah,
Because before I had to stop working, I was working 3 jobs.
right. Hello, Alfred. How are you doing?
2 were full-time too.
Thank you, Alfred. Yeah, yeah.
Because one was my own business. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's where
yeah.
most of your hours went.
Well, no, that actually went into the classroom, but
Oh, okay.
and then my part-time was the bus monitor. But
Gotcha.
that all fit in, you know, because obviously bus monitor was right before school and right after.
Right.
So, it just made a very long day, but hey,
Yeah.
I was still there for my youngest son because he went to the same school. In fact, the first year he was in my class. That first year was kinda tough in the beginning, though,
Nice,
because
Alfred.
he couldn't separate mommy from teacher.
Yeah. That's understandable.
I'm like, "Any other time of the day, I can be your mommy." Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But while we're in school, I have to give attention to other kids.
Yeah. I just, I want, I don't know. After me and my wife found out like she can't get pregnant, and it didn't hurt me because I teach these kids on the Step Up, uh, scouts and everything. It's a relief to me because sometimes I look at it and I'm like, damn, I'm glad I don't have kids. But
That's something to be tougher on the woman, though,
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's natural to feel like a failure, because it's something a woman's supposed to be able to do,
right.
and
And
that's society.
yeah, and and it took her a while, but she finally got over it, and she's accepted it. And I think I'm the one that's hurt more by it because, like, I feel like it's something I can't do. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah, but you are in a roundabout way. So
it's just, yeah, I, she's got over it a lot quicker than I have.
or she just doesn't talk about it.
Yeah, we
I
really
kn-
don't.
I have an aunt that I always knew was meant to be a mommy.
Yeah.
And when she got married, she found out she couldn't have kids.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it devastated her. And then
Yeah,
and then I had my first one, and she
right.
actually told me she was jealous, and she cried.
Oh, you know that,
And
and that's gotta hurt you too.
it did. I
Yeah.
felt horrible, but I'll tell you, I'm like, anytime you want to be around this kid, you're welcome. Because she was
Right.
always there for me and my brother and sister,
Yeah.
and she's just one of those aunts that you wanted around.
Right. See, like
And
my two aunts, like after my mother, cause okay, me and my mother, we never had a good relationship. Like I was, I was the child that shouldn't have been born. Like my mother was fixed, my dad was fixed, like, and I still came around. And
your mother wasn't fixed enough.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that pissed my mother off about me. Then I came
Oh,
down with type 1 diabetes, and she said that, you know, I shouldn't have been here, and
oh,
my type 1 diabetes is my curse for, coming along.
oh man,
Yeah, and
that's wrong.
yeah, and she always beat me and all this stuff, and
But I get it. My mother told me she wished she'd never had me, so
yeah, that's what my mother would
I
say to me
understand
too,
it. I ruined her life. Like, I had no choice in this, ma, you know?
Yeah, like, you know, I'm sorry.
I wasn't sorry.
Yeah, when I mean, what else could I say to that? It's like, eh, but my mother ended up dying, and she died hating me. And
Uh,
but my two aunts, my dad's two sisters, they both were married and everything. They never had kids or anything, and they took care of me like I was their child.
yeah,
And
that's how my aunt was. She always
yeah,
stood up for me. When
yeah.
my mother would say hurtful things, she was right there, you know?
Thank you, Doobie. No,
And
we
my mother would get upset, but, hey, my aunt was right, you know?
right.
And when I got older, I told my mother that my aunt was right.
Yeah,
And when she could no longer, spank me or send me to my room or ground me or anything, you know?
right. But no, like newbie. No, my wife, she, like what I was saying and everything. Like we work so much and everything, and you know maybe down the road we would we would consider it. We would consider adoption and stuff when after after the homestead is completely built the way that we like our dream homestead, like the actual dream that we have for it. And then where I don't have to work so much hours and my wife doesn't have to work so many hours, and we can literally stay and raise a child. That that's what we're really waiting for. And thank you, brother. Thank you, newbie, for saying that.
I think everyone feels like that.
Yeah, thank y'all. I just
I got my mother back though. When I had my first child,
yeah.
she insisted she had to be there constantly so that I would do it right. And I said, "You know what,
Really?
Mom? I got this because you taught me how not to be a mother."
Yeah,
She left my house in tears. Oh well.
right. See, and I think that's what my mother taught me, my mother taught me, in a way, my mother taught me how to love without her loving me, like,
Yeah, it was unconditional love. Yeah.
yeah, it's like she gave me so much hate that it turned me to. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I was younger and everything, I was a I was a completely different person than I am today. Like,
I just did everything I could to avoid her.
right, yeah, like
Which
my mother actually.
unfortunately included getting pregnant so I could get out of the house.
Mm, that's
Because
what happened. Right?
it was totally planned.
Yeah,
It was the only way she was gonna let me out from under her roof, so
yeah,
and I wasn't alone. You know,
right.
J Jason's father also knew that was the plan, and he wanted out from under his mother's roof too, so
so it worked two ways.
sure did.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. I mean, it's weird how
And you know
how
what?
things in
Ja
your life
Ja
changes you.
my 2 oldest boys' fathers, who I'm with right now,
Yeah,
even though we divorced back
right.
in '81, I think it was. We were married in
Uh-huh.
'79. Well, our mothers jumped into the middle of that and made sure we separated.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, yeah. We found each other 25 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we told each other what we were told about what happened that day,
Yeah.
then we knew who it really was. It was like, "Those bitches,
You're right.
how dare
But
they?"
yeah.
'Cause it put us both through a lot, and the kids too,
Yeah.
'cause they grew up without their dad.
Seeing that's you know, it, that's my that's what I think a family should be, It's like you have to have one and the other. You can't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, women, y'all are the strongest person in the food chain. Some I like, hands down, women are the strongest. And
Well, I don't know.
well,
It I think it depends on what you're talking about.
I'm going on every aspect. I mean, yeah, y'all have more emotions than us men do.
We all
You
have the same emotions.
Well, yeah, well, you know what I mean, like, like, like me, my grandfather taught me, he said, "A man that cries is weak."
Oh, no.
Like,
That's the
yeah,
opposite.
and, like, I never cried until probably about 10 years ago, you
Yeah,
know? Like,
I was brought up the same way. I never
yeah,
saw my dad cry because
right,
that's what he was told too.
yeah,
But in my
and
eyes, a man that does cry is
yeah,
more of a man because he's not fallen into that social no
Right.
thing, you know?
Yeah. And
That's all it
see,
is.
yeah, I think it was because, where I was raised in the South, and it was it's one of those Southern things, pretty much. It's like,
I was raised in the North, and it was still like that there.
oh, really?
Oh, yeah. But I'm older than you too, so.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. But, like, I was taught that, and I was also taught, a man doesn't show emotions, even when he's completely even when he's completely covered in rage, he does not show emotions. And it was like, I don't know. Mm, like, when I would get angry at my grandfather, he's like, "Don't show me you're angry. Don't show me you're angry, but make me feel that you're angry." It's
Use your
like,
words, yeah.
well, no, like, not even using words. Like,
Wow.
I suck at using words because I was
No, you
always
don't.
taught to be silent. Like, my grandfather always taught me to be silent and let my actions speak louder than words. And it it, it was one of those things. It's like,
Speak
show
softly and
me,
carry a big stick. Got it.
yeah, it's like, have your look spread fear into me. That's what I remember my grandfather telling me. It's like, give me the cold dead stare. And it, that was one of those things. It's like, it I was put in that situation with my grandfather, and it it, it confused me so much. Like, even when I would get in a fight with somebody, like, I wouldn't even let them know that I was pissed off at them. I would just go up to them and grab them by the throat and throw them against the wall, and I wouldn't even say anything. And then the punches would happen. It's like, like, they were knocked out before anything happened. And I would walk out, and next thing I know, I'm being called to the principal's office, and they're like, "You didn't even say anything. You just attacked this guy out of the blue." And I was like, "No,
No,
he
there
knows
was a
what he did
reason.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a reason. He knows what he did to me. He crossed me wrong. He said something to me, and he said something about my dad, and I just tore into him. It was yeah, it was
Yeah, I had to be pushed a lot to get to that point. But once I'm
yeah,
there, watch out.
right. And that was the same thing with me. Like, I can take a lot. I can be pushed over the edge and still hold on by a pinky, but as soon as that pinky falls,
Yeah, and it could be
like,
just something little that said.
yeah,
You're just
yeah,
right there.
yeah, like, I could be holding on with that pinky for like 3 years, and then
Yeah.
just something snaps, and I go red, you know?
Mhm.
And then I go out and I take an axe and I chop down a tree. That's
I've
how
been
I
known to
release
do
my
that.
anger now. Yeah. I
Go
take
beat
I
up a
take my
tree.
double-bladed axe, and yeah, I take my double-bladed axe and I go and I whack on a tree, and I make it fall, and I make firewood, and I come back sweaty and relieved of my anger.
Eh, I have done that, or else I would start cleaning to the point where you weren't going to find anything dirty in the house,
Right?
or I would take the damn longest walk until I cooled
Yep.
down.
Yep. Hey, Skinner, how you doing?
Yeah,
And yeah, Alfred.
but if I couldn't walk away, you better watch out.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you had me cornered, that was it. Or if you said something about my kids the wrong way.
Yeah,
And-
newbie.
and
That's how I
someone
raised
did
you,
it.
brother.
Someone did it once.
Yeah. Yeah.
I even had him babysit my youngest
Oh,
one.
really?
I knew he was gay, but
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
And one day I was over at a friend's house. He walked in. He says, "I want your kids, your boys."
Oh,
sorry."
really?
And I knew exactly what he meant. I never said
Yeah.
a word. It took like 5 guys to pull me off of him.
Oh,
And he almost
really?
went out the 3rd-story window.
I
If
don't
those
blame you at
if those
all.
guys weren't there, he would have been out.
Right?
And I don't remember going from the kitchen table to that window out on the porch either.
Yeah.
I don't remember
You would have
getting
found
from point A to point.
somewhere else to throw them.
I don't remember getting from point A to point B. I
Yeah.
heard him say that. Next thing I knew, I was trying to push him out that window.
Yeah.
And guys were yelling at me and pulling me back.
Mhm.
I don't know how we got there, but we did. And
All right,
actually,
I'm
I have
finally home.
the advantage of being tiny because that catches people off guard.
Right?
Yeah, she's nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, get me
Yeah.
angry. Watch out.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh, my body hurts. So cold. Ugh. I hate getting old, Beth. I hate getting old.
You're
I
talking
always
to the
had a plan
choir.
I was going to die when I was 25.
That was a plan.
Yeah, I had a plan. I wasn't going to die old.
You know what, newbie? I was brought up the same way. And that actually
Yeah.
taught me how to hide my emotions and cry later when I was alone. I'm pretty good at hiding it.
Well, okay, so my solar panel is still working.
That's good.
Yeah, but okay. So the solar panel light is working, but not my regular electricity light. So this solar panel is not going to hold out for very long. So we're still going to have to leave.
Yeah.
That's the only bad thing. Yeah, because my solar panel, the backup battery and everything only lasts for 10 hours. So
Now, see, I wouldn't leave, but that's me, you
yeah,
know?
and that's what I'm pondering now. I mean, but my solar panel doesn't run my HVAC, so we don't have heat. That's the only problem.
I've been homeless in the winter, so up
Yeah.
north.
Oh, I was
So
homeless when I was 16, so yeah. And there's my Calypso cat.
I'm not saying I can do it now, but when I was your age, I did do it. You know?
Yeah. Oh, I could do it. I could do it, but she can't. That's the only problem. And
Yeah.
Also, she can't call out for work because she has no build up sick days right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
there's that. Yeah.
yeah. And if it ices out here, we won't be able to get her to work even with my 4x4 because we have a 90-degree drop on my driveway and everything.
Oh, wow.
Give me 1 second. Let me put. There we go. All right. So, damn it. I really don't want to leave the house. This goes against all my.
Yeah.
This goes against all my planning and everything. But it's for her safety. I mean, at least my cats, and my dog, because the HVAC doesn't work, but the electricity outlets do work, and I have 4 heaters going for my cats. So
Yeah, and they'll cuddle up next to him.
yeah, they're already cuddling up, except for my youngest one. She's not afraid of anything. And my dog, she's laid up against her heater, so the animals will be fine. Ugh. I got to get everything packed up in the go bag. I got my wool blankets. They're all set up. I already had everything set up just in case, just so I could come home and grab it if we needed it.
Yeah.
Like just ready, ready to grab and go. Cause okay, well, crap, my pantry lights ain't working. Okay, so that usually means because I have 2 sets of batteries, one for the back of the house and one for the front of the house with my solar panels.
Mhm.
So my back batteries have already drained out. So
Oh, wow.
that's not good. And I'm guessing it's because of the cold.
More than likely, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That it's going to be Valentine's Day. I need to get one with a jacuzzi tub and
A heart-shaped jacuzzi, yeah.
yeah, get a heart-shaped jacuzzi. That would be perfect.
They're probably already taken, but
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so I've got all
you
right,
really
so I
don't want a jacuzzi, though. They don't take care of them properly. You get infections that way.
ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Yeah, they don't change out the filters or anything.
Right?
Okay, so I got my chili cans. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take my tuna. I'm gonna take my corned beef.
We're
Yeah.
planning meals now.
Well, I carry at least 6 meals of canned food with me in my to go bag, just in case, like the power in the hotel goes out or something. Then
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm going to take my 2-burner propane stove with me also, just in case
Yeah.
if
Always have
power
at
goes
least
out.
one backup plan.
Yes, ma'am.
I
And I
learned that
got
the hard way the first time I was homeless.
right. Yeah. I mean, I don't. It's better for me to prepare for the worst case scenarios and instead of not preparing for it.
I'll tell you, sleeping in the stairwell of a parking garage is not the best place to be sleeping.
No, no, it's not. I've done that plenty of times. I
But
understand where you're coming from with
but I was
that.
out of the element, away from the wind,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. As long as you find a windbreak, you're good.
It wasn't the cleanest or safest place to be, but I
But
didn't
it
have a
but
whole
it
lot of
served its
options.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sleeping sitting up leaning against a wall isn't optimal either.
No, because that cold conducts into you from the cold brick wall and everything too.
Yeah, it was actually, cement.
Oh, was it? Yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah, the worst.
Yeah. See, Beth, me and you come from the same place, sweetheart.
I guess so.
Yeah. Like I was homeless when I was 16. Like me and my dad got into a knockout drag out fight, and he's like, if you're gonna live under my roof, you're gonna live under my rules. And I was like, and I'm not gonna live under your roof. And packed up what I had, and it just clothes wise, and left, and never looked back. And I've been on my own since I was 16. Put myself, through high school, and
Yeah, I was 17.
yes, ma'am. Yeah, yeah, newbie. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm moving. I'm also I'm giving them double the water and double the food for what they need, also, because
Just in case
just
you
in
don't make
case
it back. Yeah.
yeah. And my dog, like, she'll go through. She's got she has two 2.5 gallon water jug, like, water dispensers, and she'll go through that in like a day. So,
Most of my dogs always went with me.
oh really? Yeah, my dog,
Yeah.
my dog, she doesn't. She'll only ride in the car if we're going camping. If she sees me, packing up the tent,
Yay, get to
then
run.
yeah, then she'll jump in the car. But if I'm just packing my bag, she's like, "Oh, he's just going to work," and, like, I don't want to go there.
Right?
Yeah, so
Wait a minute. How do you bring the dog to the vet then? Put your tent in it?
I have to I have to trick her. I have to I have to put the tent in the car
Yeah,
to get her
exactly.
to get in to go to the vet.
Most of my dogs, if they didn't go, they were disappointed. So, but
You're right.
I had one dog that had epilepsy, so
Oh,
he couldn't be
really?
left alone. Yeah,
Oh, poor puppy.
yeah, he had to go with me.
Yeah. Uh,
Especially if I wasn't going to be at the house when he needed to take his medicine.
right.
But
Yeah, Scanner, my power has been out for the last 6 hours, and it's been running on my backup solar power, and the the back of the house's battery bank is already drained, and I don't know how much longer that this backup battery power has left on it. I need to go and check my controller and see how much I have on it.
I miss Pedro, but the day he just kept having seizure after seizure after seizure.
Right.
Yeah, had to say goodbye.
Oh, I understand. It's just,
It
I
was
had,
still tough.
yeah,
I mean, he was a really sweet dog, you know?
right. Yeah, I love my dog so much. Like, she has type 2 diabetes now.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't have to take the medicine or anything. She just has to eat a special diet right now.
Yeah.
So that's
I think
good.
the toughest part is you can't explain to him what's going on.
Right. It's like they just look at you.
Yeah, they look at you with those help eyes.
Yeah, it's and she's my girl, like, like she she's my pack girl. Like she has her own dog harness that she carries her own little like food and her water bottle and everything on her when she goes hiking with me and stuff. And
Yeah.
now, like,
Yeah.
now she can't.
When I bring Pedro anywhere, I had like a diaper bag type of
Yeah,
setup for him.
right. Yeah,
Because,
but now she
he had
can't
special
carry.
needs, so
Yeah, but my girl Chloe, she can't carry that stuff anymore because she may get low blood sugar
oh,
and get weak. And I'm diabetic, so it's like,
you know
like,
how that feels, yeah.
yeah. And now I'm afraid of taking her camping now just in case anything happens to her. And it's like you can't make a dog like you can't force food down a dog's throat like you can a human
No,
when
you
they have
can't.
low blood sugar. It's
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was tough when Pedro decided he didn't want to take his medicine. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I had to keep coming up with creative ways to get it down his throat.
Because he got used to it.
Yeah, when he'd start separating the cheese and the pill, it was like, no,
Right.
now what? The little bugger would swallow the cheese and spit out the pill.
Right. Dogs get smart after a while.
They do. I mean, when I had to give it to him because he just had a seizure, he didn't know what was going on, so he took it.
Yeah.
But the regular everyday one, when he was with it,
Right.
that became a
Um,
hassle.
Oh,
It got
sorry.
it
Oh,
got to the point where I had to sneak it into food without him seeing what I was doing or hearing the
gotcha.
bottle. If you heard
Yeah.
the pill bottle, he wasn't gonna take whatever I gave him, no matter how much he
Right.
liked it.
Yeah, that's the same thing with my dog. Like when I need to give her medicine and everything, if she hears that pill bottle, she won't come in.
Yeah.
Because I could be like, Chloe, I got you a treat, and she would run in, but now she hears that pill bottle, and yeah, she's
Yep.
nowhere to be found.
I had to tell the vet to start giving me bottles that weren't childproof so that I could
Yeah,
make less noise.
right. Oh, like a pop top.
He thought it was funny. I'm like, "It's not
Yeah,
funny." "Oh, no, it was a screw on." Pop Top,
uh,
you still would have heard the pills.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, animals. That's, I love them
I
so
I
much.
told him, "I'm running out of ideas here."
Right?
And he was too, so
Yeah. All right. Well, I am here, and I will probably do another live stream later on tonight or tomorrow and let y'all know what happened after this. So, because I'll probably do a live stream and let y'all know that I got to the hotel and everything's safe. And
yeah.
yeah,
Or at least
uh,
tweet it.
I'll probably tweet it, then probably go live. Well, I gotta do Survival Sunday anyways, so I'll
Well,
let y'all know tomorrow. Yeah, I'll let y'all
sometimes
know tomorrow.
sometimes situations don't allow you to do what you planned on doing.
That is true too, Beth.
You can make
All
all the
right.
promises in the world, but God takes over, and that's that.
Yes, ma'am. That is true. Hey, thanks for coming up here, Beth, and having a good time with me.
Oh, we had a little bonding going there.
Yes, we did, ma'am. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it all. I enjoy bonding with all y'all. Y'all
Yeah,
are my family. So
yeah. I
mm,
have to say the same thing.
yeah. But I love you all, and I will try my best to talk to y'all tomorrow. If I cannot, I will let y'all know on Twitter. So everybody have a good night, and y'all stay safe in this freezing cold temperatures that we're having all over the world. So
Not
y'all
here.
take care, everybody.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You're fine, Beth. You're fine.
I mean, it's cold for here, but it's not freezing.
Right?
I'm not trying to rub it in, just it's a
Oh,
fact.
oh, you're good. You're good. Hey, I'd rather it be cold than freezing. Trust me. But y'all take care,
Yeah.
family. I love y'all, and I will see y'all soon.
I
Bye,
love you
Beth.
all too. Bye.
Bye. Love y'all, family. Bye.